G'day, how you going? Ianapolis here, your acrylic guru from Australia. Welcome to me video. Today's a commission painting, and first I'll get some measurements up there in centimetres and inches, and we'll get some colours going up the screen there as well for you to write down. So you can pause it and write them down if you're going to paint along. Now this is like a farm outbuilding. It's a grain elevator. Now a friend of mine on my art group page, he said, can you do a painting for me, a commission job? He sent me the photo. It's a grain elevator. I'm going to bring you over and show it to you in a minute. And he's going to get this painting and two prints of the painting, okay? I've got it masked up where all the objects are, so as I can put the retarded paint where the sky's going to be, because I don't want to paint the whole thing in retarded paint and try and paint on top of the retarded paint, because it'll start digging into it and lifting up and make all sorts of nonsense. So we're going to get the sky done. I can pull that off and then paint my front objects over the top of the sky and foreground, okay? So yeah, this is a commission for Joe Thomas, and if ever you want a commission done, just message me on Facebook. There's links in the description below, and I'm always happy to do commission work as well, okay? So I'll bring you over here and just show you what Joe sent me. So he sent me this picture here, and it's the grain elevator. Now it's going to have some blue stripes on it, and we're going to put that sky in there. Okay, I won't put my finger in front of it because it distorts the light. And it's got a side building and some trees on the side there as well, okay? And as you can see on my canvas here, I've taped up where the trees, the side building, the actual grain elevator and the other trees are going to be, just so as I can get my sky all retarded and painted and make it mix and flow and blend like oil paints. I'm working in acrylics, as I always do. Now I've got some acrylic paint there. It's student paint, craft paint, poster paint, or flowing paint. I'll put some retarder with that. Clear retarder. That's going to slow down the drying time of this acrylic paint. And I like to, this is probably like my magic white, I suppose. I like to get all this mixed up. I'm using a flat 2-inch synthetic brush from the hardware store, and it gets this paint on there. And once this is on my canvas, I can paint a beautiful sky in acrylics, and it looks like oil paints, okay? So we'll get this, just crisscross it in. This canvas sheet that I've got here is already gesso primed. It's artist quality canvas. Now I'm just going to crisscross it in there like that, nothing special. Get it right in there, up the top there, all the way over here. Put some more on the brush. Get it right in there, yeah, get right in there. Okay, you've got it all in there everywhere. That's all you have to do, and use this same brush and then pull it left and right, just so we're going to get a beautiful sky there. Now we're going to have a daytime sky, a cool sky here, and I want to look a little bit realistic, okay? So now we want to add some blue. So I've just wiped this brush and I've got cerulean blue, and also down here I've got some quinacridone magenta and some grey. Mix up your own grey, but I had that in a tube already, so it's quite handy. And I want to get the sky colour on first, so I'm getting it right into my brush here. Now this does not have any retarder in it. It's just neat from the tube. Love cerulean blue for a sky. Now I just want to crisscross this from the top first. We'll start at the top, and then we'll bring it down to the horizon area there where the tape is, and the same over here. Just get it into that too for your canvas there. Okay, it's a little bit darker at the top. Beautiful paints these, I love them, I love them, I love them. Okay, now I want to get the top and just blend this with this brush. Now see, this is a good quality canvas cloth. It is not buckling or warping. You can find if you're painting on papers and stuff, they can warp if they're too wet, and it can hinder your paint job. Okay, now we want the bottom a lot lighter than that, so I'm just going to pick up some more of this white here, and we'll just see if we can bomb it down the bottom here and fade it into that blue. There we go. Because what the lighter horizon line with more white in it creates a sphere shape, you know, where it's over your head and coming down. So there's our sky there. Now I want a bit of grey, so I'm going to pull it over here with the blue in it. I've just wiped the bulk off this brush, okay? And just the tedious bit of quinacridone magenta, because we want this sort of grey, but that warm magenta in there I want that in there. So it's not, that's grey, you can see this colour here, it's sort of that afternoon cup of tea time in the sky. There we go, it's probably a little bit too magenta-y now. There we go. So I've just used what's on my brush. Now, your palette has a lot to do with how you load your brush up as well. Believe it or not. I'm using glass here. Nothing's getting wasted. Nothing's getting pushed into paper. And it's going straight onto my brush. You can use other papers and stuff, but it can hinder you loading your brush up. Now, believe it or not, there's enough there to get my realistic pollution in the bottom of the sky here. So we want to get it on there, pick up some more, get it on there, and now I'm going to sweep it into that blue. Sweep it into that blue. There we go. I might add just the littlest bit more. I'm adding a little bit more grey and magenta in there. I'll just I'll do this where I want it, so to speak. That'll do. And get that pushed into that horizon area of your sky. And then push it up, push it up. This is how you get a pretty good, decent, realistic sky, and a lot of bullshit in there, just in that colour there. Look, done. Now I'm going to use some fan brushes to paint some clouds. I've got a larger and a smaller type here. They're hog bristle. And these are my preferred favourite. I like just to apply the cloud paint, titanium white out of the tube, out and put onto the painted blue sky there. So I'm going to get a bit into my fan brush there, and we'll put some clouds in, okay? So I want some stuff. I'm going to just dance some stuff on the bottom here, mainly lineal, just like that. I'll turn the brush around. And I'll come across here. I want some in that grey that I put there. I'll do that bit there first. Grab yourself a blending brush, and I want to blend from the top downwards, because these are in the horizon, okay? So I want to blend down to the atmosphere and let that blend with all that grey that I put there, all right? Get lighter and darker values of that happening. And the same over to this one here. Do a bit at a time, no rush. Hey, enjoy your artwork as you do it. Bring that down, let it procrastinate down. I think that's the right word for it. I don't know. If it isn't, well, too bad. We tried to be technical, didn't we? Get the tops a little bit tickled there like that. All right. Now that's done, but we're just going to add that simple little bit of bullshit to that. And I'm going to show you how we do that. Just by cracking, because there's going to be an opening right here. We'll come across there. There we go. Boom-bitty boom, boom, boom. Like that. Just like that. Grab your same blending brush. Now it's important when you're blending. Did you hear that? I've been wiping it on a towel. And then the same again to this this cloud here. Blend this one down into the atmosphere, leaving the top brighter edge there. And that's just added depth, value, some clouds in front of the others there like that. These are the lower ones. And as the higher you go up into the sky, you do them back to front the other way. There we go. Now I'll quickly put something here, maybe there. This is the lower atmosphere. I'll just put one there, and maybe a bigger one up here from that grey and transferring into the bluer area as well. I'm sort of making the body of the cloud. Look at this, see? And that'll do it. Come off the painting. Grab your brush. I'll just blend this one down first. Now that paint, the blue, the grey, everything there, that's still wet. It's staying wet for quite a while. How come? Oh, it's because I put that retarder in that white colour first before I put the blue paint on. All right, see, there we go. Now you might notice I've deliberately put some down and a bit like that. You don't want it all straight, otherwise it looks like it was made in a machine. You want to make it look real. Now this bit of a cloud here, I'm looking, I'm thinking, I've got the bum on there, and I'll pull that right across there like that, just to make some sort of cloud movement. And now I want to add turmoil, tickle the bits, fatten it up here and there, bit of bum there, turmoil, brighter values, softer values, all sorts of values. That's looking good there, but see all this? We need to turmoil that. And we're going to put probably one more on the other side a bit, okay? Then we'll add some yumminess to those clouds. Now I've washed that fan brush and I'm going to add another one. Maybe I want to come from here a bit higher in the sky and bring it out and sort of participating up there in the corner, saying goodbye. There we go. And we'll put something, maybe a bit of white there, just like that. That's a gap filler. Looks stupid at the moment, but we'll sort that out. I'll grab another brush here. I want to get a bum on this. Bit of a, find that bum. There we go. Pull that across there. Bit of a bum there. There we go. Now we'll add the turmoil. Well, first we'll get this gap filler done. This is just cotton floating in the air, filling that empty gap. Wipe your brush in the sky, okay? There we go. Quite a warm day here. This paint is trying to clag up on me, but I'll get there. It takes a while because I'm filming. See, I'm pushing this on, getting turmoil, making it light and dark and misty and all sorts of cloud things happening there, okay? Look at that. Come right into there. Now we'll just add the yumminess to these top clouds. Now I've just got that smaller fan brush, nice and clean, and I've got some more white paint. And the yumminess, in my opinion, gives these clouds, that turns them from a 2-dimension into a 3D looking cloud. So I'll just go for another blending brush. Now you want to sit this stuff down, okay, but leaving the vibrancy there, but sitting it down into that cloud there, okay? I'll sort of find, just go all over the place. Try not to make them look like dumplings. I've seen some people, they're doing good clouds, but they're just not giving it that wisping edge on it there like that. And see, that's added more vibrancy, more dimension to that cloud, in my opinion. We're going to grab a bit more for this one here. We'll put a bit of yumminess here, there, maybe over here. That'll do. And you'll just see what that does when you sit it down. Sitting it down, you're leaving it there, but sitting it down within the cloud. So you got that real baby blue powdery white there, and this big chunk of yumminess. That's what I love to call it. Yeah. There we go. You can put grey weather in that if you want. I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm liking that. Now I'll just take the tape off this, and then we can dry the sky to add our other areas of the painting on, because we don't want a ridge from where the tape was. So what I'm going to do before I dry it, see, if we just leave it like so, you're going to have a ridge here. So I'm just going to grab my finger and just lightly, artistically push that down very gingerly so you don't go too much into the sky. There we go, that was that easy. All right, I'll get all this off there. So bear with me a minute. I'll let you see this because it's always fun to see the tape come off stuff, isn't it, eh? I'll just use the point of a knife or whatever. And it's not going to rip this because it's canvas, it's not paper, so I don't have to worry about ripping it. All right, there we go. Now we just got to, like I said, sit that edge down. Now, this is raw, ready to paint my trees and building or structure on. This retarded paint, if I'd done that all the way across, like I explained before, I can dry it with a hairdryer, but you still get it tripping you up when you're trying to build your paint up on top of it with the other subjects and whatever, okay? I just got rid of that edge there from it. Now I've dried all this, I'm going to grab my flat cat tongue filbert brush. It's a flat filbert. And I'm going to do these background trees first, and then we'll put the building in front of it, okay? So I'm just using some black gesso here. And I want to do the foliage in black first, okay? Creep it just over your blue if you want to paint this painting. Leave some gaps there, and I'm going to come back this side. And once I've done this bit, I can just block the rest in, but I've got to get this edge bit more realistic and hairy looking first. And if you look at the sky, we've got that beautiful grey, purpley tinge down the bottom like you normally get. Well, we get that here a lot in Australia where I live. That's why I put it in my paintings. There we go. I'll block that in from about there. Now I'll just block that in, say about there. Yay! So bear with me, I'll just do the same on the other side. I'm going to come from the painting and off, and then start coming into me painting. There we go. Now I want to dry this with my hairdryer, then I'll add the tree colours on, okay? So down here I've got green oxide, I've got forest green, I've got cadmium yellow. And I've got the cadmium yellow and burnt umber and mixed up me dead undergrowth colour, okay? Now I want to start with me forest green. I'll pull some of that with me cat tongue and pull some cad yellow in it just to turn the lights on a bit, okay? Because we want to see what we're doing here with this, okay? Just so we can come along here and now go above this black. Don't have it under the black. Get it above the blacks. Just creep it now and gingerly. Practice this if you haven't done this before. It's great to practice all these procedures. Leave some blacks in there though. Pick up some more on your brush as you need it. And we're going to create shrubs and bush here. Leaving some darker bits there. If anything, I'm still coming inwards and downwards and making sort of umbrella shrubbery shapes. That's what I'm doing with my brush movements. I'm going to stop about there because there's something else there. Now we'll do the same on this side as well, okay? Get some of this all the way branching out. Oh, lovely. Lovely. Branching out there. Now we want the bottom of this because the road's there. You want to leave a lot of this kind of what would you say, dark. Don't go right down to the bottom. Same over here. Whatever shrubs you want, you can put in your paintings. I just love doing these type. They're my little favourites, I suppose. They're what make a painting of mine look like mine. Now I've dried it, just the bottom half. I want to come up with that green oxide, just sort of gingerly come up from the bottom with this stuff here. Dribble it down into the black there somewhere, just like that. How's that looking? That's okay. Do a little bit over here as well, just from the bottom and up into here, feathering it up. I don't want to try and make little lines. I want to try and get the same kind of foliage shape. Let it dance down into the blacks a little bit. This is just adding that other value of green. It's that colour green, but it's got a different light hitting it, I feel. So that's why I want to put it down there like this. Some of it there. Nice green, this one. There we go, just let me have a look in the monitor there. That's looking okay. I've dried it all and I want to pick up that colour I mixed with the yellow cad yellow and the burnt umber. Get it to this colour here. I did put a tidbit, just a tiddliest bit of white in there like that. And this is going to be me dead underwood colours. Now this doesn't go anywhere at the top. If anything, you look for a bunch underneath. And this is all the underneath dead stuff. Now you go outside, drive along the road, look at the bushes along the side of the road, and you see trees, the green stuff, but squint your eyes, and then you'll notice all this dead colour as well. There's a lot of dead stuff going on, and when you add this, it just makes it look like, oh yeah, I like what you've done there, sort of thing, you know. And then we can highlight it with the forest green again and a bit more yellow. So some of that's all under there dead. How's that looking? Yeah, it's looking real. Well, it will when it's finished. It won't just look like a green blob of trees stamped on there with a brush. I try and do something achievable for all you beginners so you can get quite a lot out of my tutorials. And just remember, they don't cost you nothing to watch. Quite fun to watch actually, even if you don't want to paint along. Just watch. And we'll put a bit of deadness under here as well, under all this. Just here and there, pockets of it. Look for pockets of it. Don't go all over the whole lot and keep doing layer and layer of different colours. You've got to mix it up and change it up, put different pockets here and there and different values. Under there, it's all dead under there. Watch what I do here. And if you like what I'm doing, you hit that like button. But if you don't like what I'm doing, you stop and tell everybody. So I've dried that now, and we've added the dead undergrowth colour. Now we get to highlight it. So we've got this cad yellow, and just mainly that with a little bit of that forest green in there. Get out the way there, you French ultramarine blue. And this is pretty much my yellow green that I want. You want this bright enough just so the light's hitting it, and this is where you make the shapes of your foliage. Get up the top there, up the top. Now if anything, where you put all that dead undergrowth colour like here, I'm just going to over that, over it, sit some of it down, chisel your edge of your brush up again if it's flaring out on you. I want to come over here like so to speak. There we go. Chisel my brush a bit more. Get all this coming down in front there, over there. He's coming over there. Put a bit over here, a bit there. Lovely simple bushes these are to do. They're very effective. It's just time consuming. See, not everywhere. I haven't gone everywhere, just in blobs and clumps and bits and pieces like that. I'll get my head out the way. And now down the bottom, you need to make sure you get this one and just dance it down into that black a bit. Just come down and into that black a bit. That adds depth under your bush. Into that black on its own with this colour here. Not too much though, don't get carried away. There we go, we've got some nice, reasonably realistic bushes. Okay, I've just grabbed myself a flat brush and the craft paint. I've just dampened it in water and wiped it, and I want to prime up the actual structure here. So we'll lean on here a bit and we'll get all this. Just take your time in getting the edges nice and sharp, because what I want to do, I want to prime it up so as the colours I put on here, they'll be sitting on a nice prime surface and they'll show out. They won't be see-throughy. See, I've got a ridge there. I don't know if you can see it. I'll get my hand and just come from the dry side into there. Get rid of that ridge of paint, and then I can get my brush again and then come down. Okay, I've finished blocking that in and it's dry. Now I want to add the colour of the big pipe, and I've got my raw sienna dark and my burnt umber, and I'm mixing a pile here, and then I'm adding white to get it to that sort of colour the same, similar to what's in the picture there. That's it there. And it's going to be pretty much white and this. So I'll get all this colour on there first, and then I'll highlight it with the actual white. Okay, I did cheat a bit. I put a bit of tape there. Now this is all going to be just so as I can get these bits here done. Just block it in with this. Doesn't matter if it's scratchy because there's going to be a lot of white in this. This is beautiful thick paint. I'm going left and right the way it is in the actual picture. It's all over the place. It's like old paint that's peeled. That's what it looks like. Get all the way up here as well. I'll do this bit freehand just because I can. Up there. That's that rim around it, so we'll get enough paint to hide all that. Then we'll add the darker bits and then we'll just highlight it. And there's a couple of dark windows in there as well. I'm just grabbing some white on my brush. Now this is in Norris in West Virginia, or just, yeah, west central of Illinois, sorry, not West Virginia. Now this has got bits of white here and there as well. Just all sort of coming undone with it. And then we'll get some blue stripes up here. But the paint's peeled, it's very old and rustic looking. And this grain elevator, it was built in 1908 and it's about 88 feet tall from the ground. So it's quite a tall little girl. We're getting all sorts of paints on here. It's peeled and old and rustic. It has 8 bins inside it and it holds corn and soybean. That's what it was, I think it was designed for. Getting some paint on here. My hand's probably in the way there, sorry about that. And in the 80s it was moved over 700,000 bushels of corn and soybean every year. That's how much it's moved through its system there. So there's a bit of knowledge on the old building. And in the early years, the grain was shipped all the way from the elevator by rail. So they really worked hard back in those days. Then the trucks took it in the later years after that. So we're just getting all this pretty much the way it is in the picture. Now I want to get it a little bit more uniform now. Bang, bang. I can always add the other colour back if I feel. So from about halfway we'll get some of this over this side a bit darker. Yeah, that's it, it's sort of looking darker. So if anything, the light's more on that side. And we'll probably put a little bit more white up here, just so as we can get those blue stripes into it. They're going to be faded. I'm going to use French ultramarine. I'm just picking up a bit of the French ultramarine blue, and I want this to be faded, so I don't want it too loud up there. And like I said before, this building is in Norris. It's Illinois, the west central part of the state there, okay? If you want to look for it, or look it up on the Google Maps. Now we've got some kind of, hang on, let's get this all the way down there. Then I'll put those windows in. I don't want these too loud. I want them a bit faded like they look in the photo. They look beautiful and rustic. Okay, we're going to put the rim around the top and the middle, and there's a couple of windows. I've just got black and burnt umber mixed up here. There's a couple of windows here just little rectangle ones, so I'll get one there just with a flat brush. Just get them in there. Now I didn't dry it, I should have dried it first, just so we don't get any mudding up procedures happening. Get nice, neat rectangles and squares with them. And we'll get this going as well. So I want this pretty much all the way on this side here. Okay. And we'll get that wrapped around. The building there. Just getting this finished up here. Find a nice tight line with your brush if you can. Reload it. So I'm using a little flat, they're good for chiseling. There we go. I'm getting just a bit of white with that colour. And just so as we can add some bits of whatever they've got under there. I'm grabbing the raw sienna dark and some white just to get the bottom part of the side building painted in. And that top one is a little bit darker than the bottom one, so we'll pretty much get this one. And then we've got the roof that comes across there. There's a roller door there. Boom. Come across here like so. Get it nice and rustic looking. The roller door to the side there, right here, is a darker value. So I'll use that later. I just want to get this in there. So now I'm just going to pick up some of the white and just skim over that now if I can. Yeah, just to get that sort of happening as it is. It's like it's an old rendered wall and it's really weathered and the paint's got, I mean the water's got to it and the paint's coming off it. Bit more white on there. There we go. Now we're going to use a bit of the burnt umber, and I want to grab that just with that colour still in it a bit because I want this colour. There we go, we're paling it up a bit. That's the value I'm after. See, the paint that was already in the brush is already getting it to where I want it. Beautiful, mate. And we'll get our roller door pretty much straight across there like that. Yeah, there's a bit of white to this side of it. Coming down there like so. Where are we? Yep, there. So that's the roller door. And there's something, what's going on at the top? This top part is this colour as well. So we'll pretty much get him, that roof's going to go there. Right against the edge there. And that's blocked in all the way up there. And now he's got a bit of a burnt umber barge board up there. And of course we'll get the burnt umber down here for this part of the roof as well. And this part of the roof is coming in to about there. I'm getting a bit more of the darker burn umber colour here from the roller door because there is a shadow within here, so I'll get that in there as well, just to make up the realism of it. And there's a bit of a line all the way across here as well, creating shadow for some reason. This part of the building comes to about here. Where are we? Here, there, about all the way down here and about there. Get all this painted. I'll just wipe that brush, quickly pick the burn umber up and get some of that cracking all the way down there. I'll just quickly paint that window in, which is here, and then I can frame it. So it's about here. It goes down a bit lower than that and a bit wider as well. And what colour is our door? Our door's pretty much the colour of this, a bit darker, not too much. We got a door here. And then that'll have a black shadow around it as well. And then I'll fix the ground up properly. Something like that. We've got a big white sill down the bottom with a bit of a shadow in the middle of it, so I'll do that as well. And it also has a thing like that. Just getting some shadow in the door here, very gingerly. Just doing some detail around the chimney stack here, and get that a bit down there. There's a few dirty white heater pipes here. We might as well put them in as well. So I'll get one coming up there down the wall, and maybe another one there. There's about 3 there. Get them all carrying on around there somewhere. And a little bit of darker brown just to give them some shadow amongst here. And we'll just put this heater in there as well, the heater box. There's a heater box there. And get a bit of white on top of that. Just to, there we go. Alright, I've just charged my battery up because it went a bit flat on me here, and while I was waiting for it to charge, I've just painted in this black gesso here and blow dried it with the hairdryer. Now that grey I had in my tube, I'm going to pull out some of that, and we're going to scratch in bits of the road here and there. Okay, so where's that? About a bit up from there, so we'll get this nice reasonable straight line in here, somewhere around there. Oh, look at that, eh? What a bullshittingly straight line that was, eh? And we'll do the same over here. Put something a bit there, get it started, and it's just a bit of curbing in the background. There we go. Nice and straight. This is just that grey. And there's a bit of a duvalaki here, so it's coming this way and pretty much to here. So let's see, oh you dag, Let's see if we can get this reasonably straight as well. Somewhere scratched along there like that. Somewhere like that. And we're just pretty much scratching in bits of the driveway here. Like that. And bits of stuff here. Get the brush that way, come on. There we go. Happy with that? Okay, that's all right. Then we got some, I won't make that a straight line, I'll just get that a bit rough. There we go. And then we've got bits of road matter here, keeping this all straight. Keep it nice and straight. These markings here. Broken up and straight. This is just pretty much the road now. Just got some of the road colours here. Now I'm going to pick up some of the burn umber and get some of that scratched in there as well over that grey, just to break it up and add different values of colour within there so it's not just stark. Bits around the doorway here where the driveway is, and we've got some more probably darker shadows beaming out here onto the road, within the road there. There we go, beautiful. Now there is little shrubs down there. I'm just going to use that green ochre that I had, and I want some just distinct little shrubs over, get up there and coming over the curb a little bit. Just some along there, along the bottom there. We'll grab the yellow. I'm just going to grab this yellowy colour here, get it on that brush. There we go. I will put the grey back because I've sort of hurt it a bit. There we go. Now I'm going to detail this a bit better for Joe, but this is about all I'll do for the tutorial for now. Alright, this is the Norris County grain elevator. We'll just whack a frame on it and see how it's going to look in a frame anyway. Oh, covered it up a bit there. That's there actually. That don't look too bad. Alright, and just remember, you can do that. It's not too shabby, eh? Okay, like I said, I'll detail that a bit more off camera for Joe Thomas, and that was in Norris, Illinois, west central part of the state there, the grain elevator. And like you said, it was built back in 1908, all right? If you like what I'm doing, you tell your friends, but if you don't, tell everybody, all right? All the best, goodbye, good luck, and good on ya.